eham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhesya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Southern Division. We have been discussing the last wave, which is the Sthayi Bhav, which is the fifth wave in the Southern Division components of Rasa, which is the Dakshina Vibhaga. We have Purva Vibhaga is the eastern wave, which has four waves, Laharis, Samanya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. And in the southern division, Dakshina Vibhag, there are five laharis, five waves. Vibhava, Anubhava, Satviki Bhav, Vebhichari Bhav, and then Sthayi Bhav. So we have been discussing the Sthayi Bhav, and up till now we have discussed the Mukhya Rati. And I'll just summarize everything up till now what we have discussed based on this chart. And last week also there was a slight confusion about it. So we first saw the Sthayi Bhav definition. And after we saw this definition, we saw that there are two types. One is the Mukhya Rati and the Gauna Rati. But within the Mukhya, there is Swa-artha and Parartha. Swa-artha is self-nourishing by compatible and incompatible emotions. Whereas Parartha means supports the secondary emotions. The contradictory emotions also, it supports. So that's what is the Parartha within the Mukhyarati. And within this, the Swartha and Parartha, we saw that there is Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya. But within Shanta, that is Shuddha, it is called as Shuddha because it is unmixed. There is Samanya, Swacha, and Shanta. Samanya is lacking a dominant sentiment for Krishna in one of the five mellows. This is general. Transparent means reflects as Rati, which it comes in contact with because it is Swacha. The heart is Swata, like crystal coming and it reflects. And then Shant is tranquility. We spoke about the definition of Shama, and usually Gyanis who practice Gyan Sadhana, they have attained this Shama, and that's why all that was discussed. And now within Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya, there are two types. There is the Kevala and the Sankula. Kevala is unmixed with any other type of rati. Kevala Dasya. They don't have, uh, uh, along with Dasya, they don't have friendship with Krishna. They exclusively are situated in Dasarasa. And then there is Sridhama example, who's completely exclusively situated in Saka. And there is Nanda Raj or Nand Maharaj, who's in Vatsalya. Whereas in Sankula, there is mixture of two or three kinds of rati, mixture of Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya. Like Uddhava is Dasya mixed with Sakya, but predominantly it is Dasya. Bhima is Sakya mixed with Dasya, and Mukura is Vatsalya mixed with Dasya. We saw these three examples, right? And I gave one more example. Anyone remembers one more example I had given in the last class? Anyone remembers? There are only mixture of two rasas here, Dasya with Sakya, Sakya with Dasya. So he's predominantly Dasya with a little bit of Sakya. Bhima is predominantly Saka, but sometimes it is Dasya. And Mukura is Vatsalya because she's acting as a maid servant assisting Yashoda Mata, but also with there is some mixture of Dasya. But I had given another example with three mixtures. Anyone remembers? Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You gave example of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Prabhu.
Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir is what? What is it?
He has Vatsalya, Sakya and Dasya.
But they are predominantly what?
It is Dasya.
Das. It is Das. It is Das. So this was one example I had given. And then, yes. And then there is, the Madhura, the amorous affection, the Madhura. And we have seen the Vatsalya definition. We have gone into it. We have seen the scriptural quotations. The Madhuri also we have seen. So now we will begin our discussion on the Gaunarati, the secondary emotions nourished by the primary ones, Hasya, Krodha, Vismaya, Bhaya, Utsa, Jugupsa, and Shok. So there was some confusion, when we were discussing the last commentary. These five types of Sati progressively from Shuddha to Priyata become more blissful by increasing taste. The particular taste arises in a devotee according to his previous experiences. We saw Jiva Goswami's commentary, how from the previous experiences there is superiority, from Shuddha to Priyata, because there is different taste. And how it will determine which type of taste you have based on your previous impressions. I gave these examples also, and all these possibilities, the first option, the third option, and it's only the option of previous experience. Like previously I've tasted gulab jamun, moment I see now gulab jamun, that taste experience will manifest in the mind, and I would like to have it. So that previous experience is there, and in this life coming in touch with the Mahabhagavata, and you get certain experience like that. So these impressions are carried from the previous life and produce taste. And I mentioned about uh, for each primary rasa, certain other primary and secondary rasas restrict or increase it. So that is there. Now I explained that somebody has rasa for eating salty items or bitter items. It's liking because of his previous impressions. So like that, previous past life, the particular rasa such as das, in this life also, the person has that taste alone and not others, by the mercy of great devotee with a similar taste. So he also comes at that. Now this statement, this is the case for the two types of dasya and the three higher rasas. So the two types of dasya and the three higher rasas, uh, uh, Now the three higher rasas are, you know, we had a confusion whether the two types are these two and the three types, but you have to include this also. So the two types of dasya was Vishrama Sakya and Gaurav Sakya, and the other three is Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So that was, the discussion where we had last. But I feel I'm still not clear about it, and maybe I will, ask Banu Maharaj about this, and you know, get a more clear understanding, and then I'll get back to you. So let's begin today. Gaunarati, Hasya Adbhuta, Utsa, Shoka, Krodha, Bhaya, and Jugupsa. So let's begin this discussion today. Okay. यथा गौनी विभाव उत्कर्ष उत्कर्षजो भाव विशेषो यो अनुगृह्यते संकुचन्त्या स्वयं रत्या स गौनी रतिर उच्यते. So now he is defining what is gauna rati. So from here, from verse 29 onwards, there's a discussion of the gauna rati. Text 39 onwards, there is a discussion on the gauna rati. Now you should remember that. There's a discussion on the gauna rati. Okay. When a different emotional state, bhava vishesho yo, arising from the excellence of alamban, vibhava, vibhava utkarshajo, utkarsha ja is there, but it has become the utkarshajo because of the sandhi here, anugrihete. So the has become silent and this has become o because of the sandhi rules. Manifest while the primary rati subdues. So when a different emotional state arising from the excellence of vibhava. Now, vibhava is Vishaya is Krishna. And I'm giving an example. Please try to understand this example. Now, the Saka like Sridhama has, what is his Mukhirati? His Mukhirati is Sakya, Sakyaras. And now he's feeling from separation from Krishna and he's going through, a gaun rasa. So that gaun becomes prominent because it is in relationship. So that takes over, and it subdues his primary rati, that is Sakya. So it rati subdues itself, it is called a secondary rati. Then gauni rati, rucha rati. So when a different emotional state arising from the excellence of alamban manifest while the primary rati subdues itself is called a secondary rati. Sa gauni rati uchyate. So let's now go into the commentary and try to understand it much better. With the completion of the description of the principal ratis, now the secondary ratis are described. So we have completed, and Rupa Goswami has completed a discussion on the 5 ratis. So now he goes into the secondary ratis. Vibhava here refers to Alamban. In this case, Vishaya Krishna. So Vibhava is Vishaya Alamban Krishna. Okay, Vibhava here refers to what? Alamban, in this case, Krishna. So I hope you're clear with it, right? Is this statement clear or no? If it is not clear, please raise your hands. Till now, you should be very, very clear. What are the divisions in Vibhav? Okay, let's ask this question so that. What are the divisions in Vibhav? Anyone? Sunita Mataji? What are the divisions in Vibhav? Shubha Ikshana Krish Prabhuji, what are the divisions in Vibhav? Are you able to hear me? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Can you speak a little loudly, please?
Uh, Prabhu, in Vibhav, I'm not able to recollect the terminology. Vyabhichari Vibhav.
Vyabhichari bhav. How in Vibhav? Vyabhichari bhav is completely different. Okay, Chakra Rama Prabhuji.
One is Vishaya and Ashray,
Yes. And then,
and of course, Uddipan is there also
yes,
around.
very good. First of all, within Vibhav, there is Alamban. And within Alamban, there is Vishaya Alamban and then Ashray Alamban. Alamban is the support of love. There is a Vishay and the Ashray. So within Vibhav, there is Alamban, Vishay Ashray, and then there is the Uddipan. The spiritual stimulants related to the Vishaya, So yes, very nice, very good. So Vibhav here refers to what? The Alamban, Vishaya Alamban, Krishna. Okay. Rati is said to become restricted because it allows a different emotional state to appear from time to time. So Rati is said to it becomes restricted. Why? Because another emotion, different emotional state to appear from time to time. Though the particular emotional state which manifests is called Rati, that Rati is a honorary title. So that particular emotion state which manifests, this is also called as Rati. But in actually, it is just a honorary title given. Because actually the real Ratis, if you speak, are only these 5 Mukhya Ratis. But these 7 also have been given, kind of a, that there are these 12, 5 plus 7 is 12, right? But these are Gaun. Although this is a Gauna Rati, but still it has been given a, you know, it is called as Rati, but it is just a honorary title. So that now he's saying that is why the word Gauni secondary is used to describe the Rati. It's not the Mukhya Rati, it is the Gaun Rati. Now he gives an example to understand. We say the shed makes sound and thereby attribute qualities of the living being to an inanimate object, when actually it is the person in the shed making sound. Shed cannot make sound. The person in the shed makes sound. Similarly, in the same way, we call these states Rati because they act similar to Rati. Because they act very similar to Rati, though they cannot exist without the presence of the Mukhratis, which subdue themselves. So these Gauna Ratis cannot act, without the presence of the Mukhya Ratis, which subdue themselves. Okay, now there is a note. At the end of the discussion of the secondary ratis, now please remember the primary ratis, that is the Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya, are discussed in the Western division, that is the Paschima Vibhag. So that will be the third division of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And there are how many waves in the third division or in the Paschima Vibhag? Anyone raise your hands? How many divisions should be there? Anyone can guess? How many divisions? Bir Krish Prabhuji, how many divisions should be there?
Uh,
How many waves should be there in the
Prabhu, I
Paschim?
missed the question, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so I was just trying to explain that the the Western division, the Western, now we are studying the Dakshin Vibhag, right? The Western division, is called as the Paschim Vibhag, which deals with the primary ratis. So how many waves should be there?
It will be five, Prabhu. It will be 5.
It will be 5. It will be 5. It will be 5. So I'm just sharing you the screen. I'm just going back to a little basics time and again so that we So Prabhupada's, chapters in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is actually, from 35. Neutral love of Godhead, transcendental affection, impetus for Krishna service, indifference and separation, ways of meeting Krishna. Okay. Wait. Exactly, because the titles are quite. Let's maybe in the first. I had given this talk in the. Oh, yeah, let me share the screen. Yeah. So, Vibhava, Anubhava, Satviki Bhav, Sthayi Bhav is 32 to 34. So now that means 35 will be Shant, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya. So then there is this Gaunaratis. So the Gaunaratis, okay, we have the chart also here, I think. No, I have not put it off where actually the other divisions are discussed. It is not put. Okay, anyway. So there are 5 chapters. That is the 3rd division of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The 4th division of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has, this is 4th division. 4 means, 4th division, that is the Uttar Vibhag. So there are the 7 Gaunratis and 2 chapters are what are incompatible and compatible. So actually there are 9 waves there. As far as I remember, there are 9 waves. So what now he is saying is, at the end of the discussion of the secondary ratis, 4, 7, 14, the author says actually the secondary ratis are Vabhichari Bhavs, but have been classed as secondary ratri in deference to Bharat Muni and other literary authorities. So Rupa Goswami developed this concept of rasa based on Bharat Muni's, Natya Shastras, but still, the rasas which are discussed in Bharat Muni's, especially in the dramas and all, that is actually material rasa. It's not spiritual rasa, but Rupa Goswami is speaking of the spiritual rasas in the spiritual world. So just to defer with Bharat Muni and other literary authorities, Kavya, Kavis, so Rup Goswami has classed them as secondary ratis, but they are actually Vabhichari Bhavs. These are Vabhichari Bhavs, and we have studied the Vabhichari Bhavs. So now, only now, your question will be, what should be the question when you say that, these secondary Gaunaratis are classed as Vabhichari Bhavs, So what should be your question? That is my question to you, all of you. What should be your question? If they are actually, these 7 are Vabhichari Bhavs, but they have been classed as secondary ratis, so what should be your question? Yes, Bir Krishna Prabhuji.
Should you prove what differentiates between Vichari Bhavas and secondary Bhavas? Secondary Ratis.
Actually, these secondary bhavas are itself Vabhichari Bhav, but still only these 7 has been classed as, Gauna Rasas.
Maybe it could be because it develops something.
You'll have to try to understand my question first. My question is, if these 7 Gaun Ratis are actually Vabhichari Bhavs, but they have been classed as Gaun Ratis, so what should be our question?
Why these 7 are classed differently?
Why only these 7? How many Vabhichari Bhavas are there?
37, I guess.
33.
33.
So then the natural question will be, how many Gaun Ratis should be there?
It should be 40. 33 plus 7.
33 plus 7.
No, no.
No,
I mean, 33 plus 7 Vichari Bhava should be there.
no, please understand. These actually are, these 7 are already part of what? The Vyabhichari Bhavs. Right?
Right, right.
So all these other 33 also should come as Gaun Ratis, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But why only these specific? That Rupa Goswami will discuss further. Why is only these 7, and not all. Okay, got the point, right?
Right, right.
Right. I hope you all understood also. So why he is going to do that? He is going to discuss it a little. But only these 7, actually these 7 are Vyabhichari Bhavs. So he should have, and if you remember, when we were discussing the last part of Vyabhichari Bhav, there Rupa Goswami in some of the verses he mentioned these 33 Vyabhichari plows plus, how much he said? Plus, how much? Anyone remembers? Anyone? Veer Krish Prabhuji.
33 plus 7, bro.
33 plus 7 plus, one more should be there. Mukhya Rati has to be there, na? To give
Yes,
rise
yes,
to
yeah, yes, bro.
Vyabhichari
Yes,
Bhav.
yes.
41. He had made the
41,
calculation as 41.
41. Yes,
Yes,
41.
yes. Very good, very nice. Right. So the point is that only these 7 are classed as actually Gaunaratis, but these Gaunaratis are actually Vyabhichari Bhavs, but they have been separately classed, as second Rati because to differ with Bharat Muni and other Kavya Shastras. Now this will become more clear in the coming verses. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now in this verse, he defines which are the Gaunaratis. Hasyo Vismaya Utsaha Shoka Krodho Bhayam Tata Jugupsa Chait Asobhava Vishesha Saptodita. The 7 Saptodita, Sapta Udita. Udita means the explained or narrated. Udita. Saptada. Udita. Specific emotions are Aso Bhava Vishesha. Has, humor, haso. Vismay, astonishment, vismay. Utsa, fortitude. Shoka, lamentation. Krodh, anger. Bhaya, bhayam. Tatha, and jugupsa, disgust or hate or hatred. Api Krishna vibhavatvam adya satkasya sambhavet syadhyadi vibhavatvam saptamas turater vasha. Since they are under the control of the primary ratas, these 7 are under the control of the primary ratis. Primary ratis are, Mukhya, Shantadas, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Krishna acts as the cause. Api Krishna Vibhavatvam. So Krishna becomes the cause. And the cause is Vibhava. We know that. For the first 6 of these bhavas, Adya Shatkasya Sambhavet. The Shatkasya means Shat. Shat means 6. For the 6, Krishna is the cause. But Krishna cannot be the cause of the 7th second rati, Jugupsha or disgust. Saptamastu. The cause of disgust is the material body or other objects. Sya dehadi vibhavatvam. So the cause is either the body or other objects. Deha and adi has been mentioned. That's why. Okay, Jeev Goswami on this. Since they are under the control of the primary ratis, rate vashat, Krishna is the cause, vibhavatvam, for the first 6 secondary ratis from hasya to bhaya. Krishna is the cause for all these, hasya to bhaya. They fall under the control of Rati since they can suitably be expressed in relation to Krishna. Because these 6 can be suitably expressed in relation to Krishna. And that is why they fall under the control of Rati. Now I'm giving you an example. Please try to understand this example. Like Sudhama or Sridhama, their primary Rati is, it is Sakya. And whether it is Sankula or Kevala, who will answer? Whether Sridhama or Sudhama's rasa with Krishna is Sakya Ras, whether it is Sankula or Kevala. Who will answer this? Priya Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Am I audible?
Yes.
Prabhuji, with Sridhama it is Sankhya you said because it is Kevala unmixed with any other type of.
Now, now my question is whether that whether Sakya is Kevala or Sankula, Sridhama's. Did you get my question? Yes, check Rama Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
With Sridhama, it is Sankula and Sudhama's Kevala.
No, both Sridhama and Sudhama have. Which Sudhama
Sankula.
you are
Sridhama is Sankula. Yes, Sankula.
Sudhama of the Dwarka, or I'm speaking about the Sudhama of Vrindavan?
Sudhama, his friend,
Dwarka or Vrindavan you are speaking?
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. No, both are Kevala. They
Both are
have
Kevala.
Keval. They have Keval pure. It doesn't get mixed. Are you getting this point? It doesn't get
Yes.
mixed.
Yes.
Yes. You see here, Sridhama is Sakya, Kevala it is. Whereas Sankula, it gets mixed. And actually, I mentioned also that this is mostly for those who are not Vraj Bhaktas. Uddhava is not a Vraj Bhakta. Bhima is not a Vraj Bhakta. Mukhura is, but still, there is a kind of a little mixture, Vatsalya and Dasya. Generally, it is, like Arjuna. Arjuna is what? Arjuna is what? Okay, let's try to understand. Arjuna of the Kurukshetra. What is his first primary rati? Let us try to understand. What is his primary rati? Who will answer? This is a very simple question I'm asking. Shubha Ikshana Krish Prabhuji, yes.
For Arjuna, Prabhu, it is Sakya.
Sakya, he is Sakya, right? He is in friendship with Krishna.
Yes.
Now my question is whether it is Kevala or Sankula. Think about it carefully.
Oh, Kevala.
Kevala. Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Then you said you're speculating. Just to
Yes.
try to hit. Okay, let's hear others. I know that I'm taking time, but I want you all to do some churning and try to understand the subject. Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, it is Sakya, but it is Sankula mixed with Das.
It can change, and it changed during the battle of when Krishna showed the Vishwarup, So
And also in Sakya, it is
it is
Gaurav.
Gaurav Sakya. So here also, even I think I have to go into the Western division where only Sakya is discussed. There maybe things might more get clear. So that's what, yeah, you can lower your hand. So, okay. So these things, that's why we have to have a clear understanding. So the point of discussion where we were here is that, yeah. So just like, Sridhama has Kevala Sakya towards Krishna. He's a deep friend of Krishna. And he can laugh with Krishna. and they keep on laughing, you know. At that point, this emotion of hasya, the gaun hasya takes over, you know, and the primary rati comes, you know, it takes a inferior position. It comes under the control of rati, of hasya, you know, and it is suitable in relationship to Krishna. I was trying to come to this point of suitable with relationship to Krishna. But, you know, for those who are situated in, you know, dasya with Krishna, you know, like Raktak, Chitrak, and Patak, or Rasala, which is mentioned, you know, for them, they cannot, you know, you know, have that kind of intimacy with Krishna where they can laugh and joke with Krishna. They don't do that. Okay. So it is only supporting Swartha, not Parartha. But suppose it happens that, you know, Krishna's friend Madhumangal is there next to him and he jokes and Krishna starts laughing, and, you know, Madhumangal also laughs, and the Dasya servant is also there and he also laughs. But suddenly he'll control that, you know, oh, it's not proper for me to exhibit, I'm in Dasarasa, it will come. So it can be suitably expressed in relation to Krishna. Whereas that person, you know, who is Chitrak or Patrak, who is in Dasarasa, it cannot be suitably expressed. But this can be suitably expressed, those who are in, you know, Sridhama and all. So I hope you understood this statement, the statement I was trying to explain you all. I hope you understood. The causes of the seventh secondary rati, jugupsa or disgust, are the material body and other such things. Krishna is not the cause of disgust. Okay, any questions you have up till now? Any questions, any clarifications? I hope it is clear. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, can you just show the last slide for a longer time? I'm just trying to grasp the meaning.
Any questions you have regarding this? Is it okay? Any questions you have, Mataji? Oh, you're unmuted, huh? That's why. Okay.
No, Prabhuji. Thank you.
No, no. Okay. Okay, now let's come to the next verse of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. हास्यादावत्र भिन्नेपि शुद्ध सत्व विशेषतः परार्ताय रतेर्योगात् rati shabda prayujyate. Now he is clarifying now. Though these seven bhavas are different, hasyadyo atra bhinnaipi api, they are bhinna, they are different from the primary swartha ratis composed of shuddha sattva vishesha. Mukhya swartha ratis, shuddha sattva visheshata. When these seven emotions are conjoined with the primary rati, they take which takes a secondary role as parartha. Pararthaya rati yogat. The word rati is used to describe the condition of these seven. Rati shabda prayujyate. So if you remember when we started this discussion, you know, there is, you know, two types. There is a swartha and the parartha. In the parartha, you know, there is, you know, the other can, you know, there is a, you know, it can contradictory bhavas, it can adjust. But swartha, no. I gave you no, just now I gave an example, like somebody who's situated in dasya, you know, he cannot adjust to the contrary bhakta of laughing in relation to Krishna. It will not mix. So that he's only situated in his swartha. But parartha, the seven emotions, when they're conjoined with the primary, which takes a secondary role as parartha, then they become parartha. And that's why rati has been used to describe the condition of these seven. Rati has been used. Okay. Now let's see the commentary. It will become more clear. The bhavas such as hasya are different from the Swartha Mukyarati, Suddha Shatta Vishesha. These bhavas of Hasya, Hasya, Shoka, Raudra, they are different from these Mukyaratis. The Mukyaratis are, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. And within that, there are divisions which we have seen. However, when the emotions join with the primary ratis, which then assumes a parartha form and recede into the background, they become ratis or stahi bhavs. So, however, when the emotions, these emotions of hasya, join with the primary rati of Sridhama who is having sakya, then what happens? Then the parartha form is there. So then this almost becomes like the Sthayi Bhav. They become ratis. But although they are ratis, the hasya, but still they are secondary. They are secondary. Now, even in this world, we know, we have these perverted, emotions which we experience. Can you, like, can you laugh for all the time? Two friends are there. Sometimes they laugh, but always that laughter emotion only you're having with them continuously. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometime you might laugh. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Or anger can continue because all the time it will not manifest, but still. So these emotions they take on, and that becomes, like a rati, but still it is gone. It is gone. That is the point I wanted to make. Okay, now next. हास्योत्तरारतिर्यास्यात् सा हास्यरतिरुच्यते एवं विस्मयरत्याद्य विज्ञेय रतयश्च सत्. When hasya predominates over the mukhya rati, hasya uttara rati syasvat. Uttara means it predominates, which becomes parartha. So then it becomes parartha, right? Because hasya is predominated. It is called hasyarati. Sa hasyarati ruchyate. The other 6 secondary ratis, evam vismaya ratyadaya, should be similarly understood. Vigyaya ratyascha sat. The other 6 also. When the hasya predominates the mukhya rati, then it is called as hasya rati. Okay. Here the definition of the secondary rati. Here is the definition of secondary ratis. So the definition of secondary ratis is what? They take prominence over the primary ratis, which become parartha ratis, nourishing the secondary ratis. They become parartha and they nourish hasya. Okay, further. Kanchit kalam kvachit bhakte hasyadyastayityamami ratyacharo kritayanti talliladya anusarata. When hasya and other emotions, hasyadya, take on beautiful forms, charu krita. Charu means beautiful. Charu Krishna, we say, beautiful Krishna. Charu krita, by the influence of the primary rati, ratya yanti, because the primary rati has to be there in a particular rati, kvachit bhakti, in a particular pastime, tal lilade anusarata, and remain for some time. Kanchit kalam, I mentioned, it cannot be there for long, continuous, Kanchit kalam, they can be considered stahi bhav. Stahityam ami. So they are considered that time as stahi bhav. That's why this stahi bhav has, how many stahi bhavs are there? Let us now again test your knowledge. How many stahi bhavas are there? Who will answer? Okay, Shubha Ikshana Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu, 5 Sai Bhav.
Any other answers anyone else has? Veer Krishna Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Prabhuji. There's some background distraction. Yes, Veer Krishna Prabhuji, what is the answer? No, there is some distraction. You can type. Yeah. Now your voice is audible. Yes. Yes, I've unmuted you. Yes, Prabhu. Hari bol.
Five. Hare Krishna, bro.
Ah,
Bro, it is 5 primary and 7 secondary persons.
that is 12. Because they are also considered as Sai Bhavas. See, here the definition is there. They remain for some time. They are considered Sthayi Bhavas. But it is gone. That's it. So the Sai Bhavas are total 12. 5 Mukhya, 7 gone. Okay. Next. Tasmad anityatadhar adhar sapta samyekika ime sahaja apiliyante balishtena tiraskrita. Tasmat, therefore, these 7 emotional states manifest for a short time in a person. Sapta samayika ime, and are not fixed in any particular person. Anityadhara, even though these 7 emotions manifest spontaneously, sahajapi, they disappear. Liyante, by being covered by contrary bhavs, balishtena, arising from the primary ratis. Tirsakrita. Tirskrita. So, these primary, are fixed, and the secondary, they, manifest for a short time, but they are not fixed. They are not fixed in a person, and they manifest spontaneously and they disappear. They disappear, and then they are arising from the primary bhavs. The primary rati is fixed in a particular person according to his inclination, though sometimes it may become subdued or pararth. It is fixed. This will always remain fixed. Okay. Sahaja api means spontaneous or natural. Okay. They are later covered by a contrary bhav, balishtina, arising from rati and thus disappears. They covered by the contrary bhav, balishtina. Okay. Text 46. क्वाप्य अव्यभिचारन्ति सा स्वाधारण स्वरूपतः रतेरात्यांतिकी स्थाहि भावो भक्त जनेखिले स्यूरेतस्य विना भावात् भावः सर्वे निरार्थका. When qua api, qua api is kah api, it has become quapi, quapi only it is quapi. When a primary rati sa in its essential form swarupata does not leave avyabicharanti, the devotee swadharan, it is considered to be continuous or atyantiki stahi bhav. Ratir atyantiki stahi bhav. So Hanuman is in Dasiras. Although he knows that the gopis are very superior, and he knows that Yudhishthira and are all superior compared to him, but still he remains continuously in that Dasya bhav only. So it is continuous. Atyantiki stahi bhav. This is present in all types of devotees. Bhakta jane akile. Without that continuous stahi bhav, syar etasya vina bhavet. All other bhavas such as has are dysfunctional. Bhave sarve nirartakha. So they are dysfunctional. So Sridhama has continuous sakyaras. And Madhumangal also has continuous sakyaras with Krishna. It is continuous. And like that, it is for other types of devotees also. And without this continuous Sthayi Bhav, these other bhavas like Has are dysfunctional. And because it is there, continuous, Hasya sometimes will manifest and take over, and it will become parartha. That's the point. Okay. That rati sa which does not leave avyabicharanti, its receptacles, swadharan, or the ashrayas of the devotees. So the receptacles are the devotees. Vishaya is Krishna, ashraya is the devotee. Should be considered the continuous or atyantiki sahibhav of the devotees. Sometimes swadharat in an ablative case is seen instead of swadharan. So this is something to do with the grammar rules. We need not worry about it. Okay. Vipakshadishu yantopi krodadya staitam sada labante rati shunyatvan na bhakti rasa yogatam. Though the secondary bhavas become stahi bhavas, yantopi krodadaya staitam sada, in the enemies of Krishna, vipakshadishu, they are not suitable for bhakti rasa, bhakti rasa yogatyam, since they are without a primary rati. Labante rati shunyatam, positive attraction for Krishna. So here he is now making it clear. Now these secondary bhavas become sahibhavs, like the krodh rati, you know. The krodh rati becomes, when Krishna is fighting with the enemy, their demons or whoever it is, the krodh rati is manifest. So can you say that, it is actually the krodh rati? Can you say yes or no? Who will answer this? Can you say it is krodh rati? Who will answer this? Can you say it is krodh rati? Yes, Priya Mataji. Yes.
Prabhuji, they are not in relation to Krishna in a sense, like they are without the primary rati.
They are without the primary rati. So that's why he's making it clear. Though these secondary bhavas become stahi bhavas in the enemies of Krishna, they are not suitable for bhakti ras. They don't have bhakti ras because there is no primary rati. And without the primary rati, there is no question. They don't have attraction for. So that's why we have discussed that all that in the previous waves and all. So I'm just okay now. Jiva Goswami on this. Because the enemies of Krishna are devoid of rati, there is no possibility of any, even ratyabhas, since they are hostile to the Lord. Even ratyabhas is not there. They are hostile. Note, this type of emotion is later called rasa and is included under the broad title of rasabhas. So again in the fourth northern division, in the ninth chapter, I mentioned there are 7, 8 and 9 chapters. 7 are the 7 Gaunratis, and then the 8th chapter is what is compatible and what is incompatible. So nine waves are there. So there he has mentioned this is called as aparasa. Okay. Text 48. Aviruddherapi sprishta bhave sancharino khila nirvedadya vilente narhanti staitam tatah. Because all the 33 Vebhichari bhavas, Sancharino Akhila, starting with Nirvedadya, though not contaminated with hostile emotions, Aviruddherapi Sprishta Bhave, disappear on their own after some time in the devotees, Viliyante. They are not classed as Stahi Bhavs, Naranti Stahitvam Tata. Now, I mentioned that if these 7 are actually Vebhichari Bhavs, then why only these are classed as secondary ratis, Gauna ratis, and not the other 33. So because all these 33 are also Vebhichari Bhavs, they are not contaminated. They are in relation to Krishna, and they also appear for some time and then they disappear. Still they are not classed as Stahi Bhavs. What is the reason? Now Rupa Goswami is going to explain. Jiva Goswami will explain. Aviruddher api sprashta bhave means literally touched by non-contrary bhavas. However, the meaning is actually not touched by contrary bhavas, hostility, since the previous subject was hostility. So here not touched by contrary bhavas, means the bhava of hostility, you know. It is similar in usage to the phrase asuryam pasya. That literally means that one who sees pasya, no sun, asuryam, but really means one who does not see the sun, since the queen is confined in the inner chambers of the palace. These Vabhichari bhavs disappear on their own with the passage of time. Okay. Now, again, there is a note. The secondary rasas also disappear after some time by being covered by the contrary bhavas. But verse 51 explains that the secondary ratis leaves impression after they disappear, whereas the Vabhichari bhavas do not leave impression. Now, verse 51. When we come to verse 51, it will become very, very clear. Then these 33 Vabhichari bhavs should be also classified as Gaun ratis. But why we don't classify and only the 7? Here the answer is that, which will come in verse 51, just after 2-3 verse, that the secondary ratis leave impressions after they disappear. So this impressions of Hasya Ras will be there, and next time, these impressions will get activated with Krishna, remembering that, and they start laughing again. But these Vabhichari bhavs do not leave impression. These Vabhichari bhavs don't leave impressions. Mother Yashoda, she has seen Krishna under the coils of, Kalia. And these Vabhichari bhavs, Nirveda will come, let me give up my body, what is the use of living this body? So these emotions come, and that is showing actually a deep Vatsalya Prem for Krishna. So these Vabhichari bhavs manifest in the ocean of Sthayi bhav like a wave, and they come down. But after this incident, if Mother Yashoda has these impressions, then this disgust emotion will always become, it will become kind of a obstruction in her free flow of prema, of Vatsalya ras between Krishna. So these don't leave, Vabhichari bhavs don't leave the impressions, whereas the second Gaun rasas leave impressions, and that is why only these 7 are classified as Gauna rasas. Today it is interesting, only 7 devotees are participating because we have only 7 Gaun rasas. Okay, so it will become more now clear in text, in the coming few texts. Okay, let me see what's the time. It is 8:30, so we will stop here, but any questions you have, I can take up now. We'll continue this discussion next week. Any questions? Bir Krish Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji, I have unmuted you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Bol, Prabhu. Am I audible?
I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, Prabhu, here you mentioned Atyantik Sthayi Bhava. Exactly what does it mean, Prabhu? It is referring to particular devotees? I mean,
No, Atyantika means, you see, that, we had been discussing, there was one Brahmana who, while worshipping the deity, sometime, address the Lord as a friend, sometimes, in a dasi mode, sometimes like a lover. So he was not clear about his, relationship with Krishna, what rasa it is, whether it is dasya, madhurya, or sakya, or vatsalya. Sometimes he did care the deity in the form. So his rasa was not so clear, But as a sadhaka, who is on the stage of Nishtha and starts practicing Raganuga sadhana, and he has some clear understanding that this is the inclination. This is not my mental inclination. This is my soul's inclination. Please remember, there is a difference, because soul is, mental is based on sabhava, karma vasanas. But it is his soul's inclination that I'm inclined towards maybe the mood of the sakas or the mood of the gopis. And he practices his raganuga sadhana, and still it is not clear. It's not that he's situated in that, but only at the stage of bhava, you know, he attains his swarupa. That his rasa with Krishna is, in Madhurya or this, and Krishna shows himself as that Vishaya, as a friend or as a lover, Cupid lover, or as a, child for somebody who's in Vatsalya. Now, this development has happened now. It has reached Antaktiki, but in a higher sense also, you can see that when he goes back to the spiritual world and is situated, because even the body is there, although he's attained perfection, the body is still there. Or when he leaves this world and then enters into Krishna Leela, and there further, he is there in the Krishna Leela, and then he attains complete perfection. So it has attained Atyantiki. In that sense, it is mentioned Atyantiki Sthayi Bhav. I hope you understood.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes. Any other questions anyone else has? Okay, so thank you very, very much. Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.